there! Welcome to The Guilty Knitter, episode 11. Today is August the 13th, 2018, and I'm coming to you from Montreal, Canada. Just 2 blocks from my favorite yarn store, Espace Tricot. You probably know about it. If you watch any podcasts, you must know about Espace Tricot. And here's my little co-host, Monty. He's here just to say hello, but then he gets tired of it, so I put him down. As my husband says, you're putting him down? Telling him he's ugly? No. Anyways, your breath stinks? No. Anyway, I'm going to put him down in a second, but I don't know if I told you this, but Monty's gotten completely deaf. He doesn't hear anything anymore, and it makes it kind of weird because you can't call him. He just ignores you. At first I thought he was just ignoring me, actually. Anyway, see, there, he's tired of me. He's gonna lie down. Anyway, if you're looking for me on social media, I am on Instagram as Guilty Knitter, at Guilty Knitter. And on Twitter, I believe I'm still OSMVIV. And on Ravelry, I'm the Guilty Knitter. So yeah, please feel free to come and friend me on Instagram, follow me, and yeah, and on Ravelry. All the show notes that I will do, or well, okay, I've done some show notes for some episodes that are over there, but I kind of stopped doing them because it didn't seem like anyone was really paying any attention to them. So I will put some links down below here for a few things that might be interesting for you. And but otherwise, anything you want to know about any of my projects, you can find on Ravelry. I'm pretty good at keeping up my project pages. So yeah, so that's that. It's been a really nice summer. We've been away quite a bit. We've been in my husband and I, well, I went on a tour with I play with the Montreal Symphony Orchestra, and we went on a short tour to Europe, to Krakow and to Salzburg. And that was really kind of interesting and fun. It was just a short, well, not quite a week we were away for that. And then my husband met me, and we met in Italy. We met our daughter Erica and her husband Neil, and we had a week in Italy, so that was really fabulous. Although I wouldn't go back to Florence, I don't think. It was a very, very hot. You wouldn't go don't go in July. It's crazy with tourists, and yeah, so it was too hot and crazy with tourists, but it is beautiful there, and we enjoyed ourselves. We managed to enjoy ourselves. We drank a lot of spritzes. We tried to find the elusive €5 spritz. Most of them were more expensive than that, so, but it was pretty fun. It was really fun. Actually, the best part of that trip was when we went to Podere Prasiano, which is an agriturismo in which kind of like an Airbnb or a B&B, I guess, or an inn in the middle of in the Appian foothills, which is in Emilia-Romagna, just above Tuscany. It's a very beautiful area, and we have such a lovely time there. It's totally quiet, and the weather was perfect, and it was just wonderful. We're so lucky, so spoiled that we can do these things. Believe me, I try not to take it for granted, because in 2 years I'm going to retire, and I'm not going to have the money for all that traveling anymore, probably. But that's okay. We'll enjoy ourselves anyway. In the meantime, we are keeping up our travels. So yeah, so because of that, and then I went away to a cottage to visit my brother-in-law. My husband and I both went to his brother's cottage, and we saw all of his brothers there, all of his the first family of brothers. Those guys have little twin brothers who are 13, and they call them the expansion team. His dad got married quite a bit later and had these twin boys who are 13. My husband's 58. You do the math. yeah, he could probably have been that kid's grandfather, those kids' grandfather. Crazy, right? But that's life. Okay, so that's enough of that. I'm happy to be back podcasting because it's been such a long time. And it's fun to catch up. And I have some things to show you. A lot of it is stuff that I've already shown you before, but I've made some progress. And I haven't got too many finished. I have one finished object. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. But anyway, the first finished object I'm going to show you is my socks, which are Hermione's everyday socks. Although her pattern goes from the cuff down, I believe. And these are knitted toe up. And this is the second sock I made. And it's about an inch shorter than the first sock. And a completely different color, I'll show you. So, because I saw my daughter back in May, when I was knitting the first sock, when I realized that I'd made it too big for me, I didn't do that on purpose, but I had made it a little too big. I had her try it on because her feet are bigger, and it fits her pretty well. But check out how different it looks. Okay, first of all, yes, look how much bigger it is. I mean, I knit them with the same needle and everything. I don't get it, but they're bigger. Well, I did obviously go too far with the foot. Anyway, so it's too big for it fits her fine. Then I went back and finished it finished the second one just before going to Europe this time, and had her try it on again, and this one's too small for her and it fits me. So I am going to cut right here somewhere. I'm going to do like a little surgery and cut a piece out of this while I'll cut and unravel an inch of the foot so that they're both more or less the same size. But even if they are the same size, look at the difference in the color, and that's just one ball of yarn. I hope you can see okay. I mean, it's a little dull outside, but this is the best light that I'm gonna have, so I hope it's okay. Anyway, I don't know if you can see how much darker that is, but that is really, compared to this, so two different things. And that's just one ball of yarn, but that's what happens with hand-dyed yarn. I love both of these colorways, but it feels like they're totally different. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to enjoy wearing them. I'm not fussy. And it'll be for me now, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've never tried to do this kind of surgery. I will let you know how that works out. But I don't see it as being too tricky. And I think I'm kind of looking forward to trying that. All right, I need a little break while I get my tea going. I'm drinking my mint tea in my knitting fuel cup from Stashquisitions. It's too hot. Too hot. I might even... Alright, pause it 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I got some ice cubes for my tea. It's a bit too hot to drink hot tea, really. And I've discovered that I really like ice mint tea. And I get this mint in bulk, like this big bag of mint. Well, when I don't get it from the garden, which I have tons of mint in the garden, but when I run out of that, I buy this big bag of mint, dried mint, at the local Akavan store, which is like a Middle Eastern store, and they sell this stuff. And I just crush it up a little bit and use it for tea. It makes great mint tea, so that's a secret. It's super, super cheap. So, that's better. A little ice cube, we'll set that right up. Alright, so that's it for my finished objects. This is, I didn't tell you I used this is basically the heel that I always use. I enjoy making it. It's a faux heel flap. I don't know whether it's faux heel because a faux flap because you're going from the bottom up or whatever, but it looks just like a regular heel flap to me. Yeah, that's the one I use all the time. And this yarn is Art-Filled Belle, but this is a colorway that you can't get anymore. It was like a one of a kind, I think. This is I think it's Scarlet, or this is a colorway that I think they still sell. But I had used that for another pair of socks a long time ago. So I had just enough for the little tops and tails. Okay, so next thing, I will show you my progress on Birds of a Feather. So this I took to Europe with me. So I was knitting this when I finished my sock. This is what I was knitting on. Check this out. It's a lot bigger. It's now a G-string for an elephant, I guess. That's what Dave thinks anyway. He keeps joking about that. What do you think? Looks pretty nice, huh? It's already huge, I feel. I mean, long enough. Look, I can probably put it around my neck already and wear it. And I still have a long way to go. But it's really been a fun knit. I don't know how, is this gonna suit me? I don't know. It's a little scratchy too, but anyway, hopefully after blocking it'll be okay. This I'm using La Bien-Aimée BFL sock. That's this the more colored one. I don't remember what the name of that colorway is. I think it's like rose something or other. I forget. So I don't have the colorways written here. Maybe I'll put them in the screen down here or underneath. So, and this is the white or the off-white, the creamy, is from Jade Sapphire, and it's the Sylph, which is cashmere and linen. And then this mohair is the La Bien-Aimée mohair, and it's just very soft and beautiful. I just fell in love with that pink. I don't know, is it coming out? I don't know. It looks, there's a little more pink in it than what it looks like on the screen, I think. Anyway, I'm really liking it. It's super fun, very easy, so you don't have to really concentrate too hard. And so I'm using 3 colors, and it only calls for 2 colors. So I'm having to figure out where to put these stripes and how to arrange it. So what I've decided for the next one, I did, okay, 1 garter stripe here, and then I did the lace, and then this I should have maybe done in another the off-white, but I want to do a lacy bit with in the off-white, because I think it'll look really pretty and maybe come out, you know, a bit more. We'll see. I think I'll try it anyway. So that's that, coming along really nicely, and it's sort of an ongoing project. You know how it is. It's a long project, and it's just a perfect thing to knit when you're got nothing to do, or you're watching TV or whatever. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to show you my progress on my Cathedral Grove. I don't know if I don't remember where I was the last time I podcasted, but maybe, I don't know if I'd already done the, did I already do the pockets by then? I can't remember. Anyway, I think I may have mentioned it. Oh well. So I just got back into it yesterday, and I realized that I didn't know exactly where I was. So I had to figure it out by going to the middle cable here and figuring out where I was from that, because it's sort of easier to count the rows on this cable because the cables are more frequent. So I figured it out. I had to check online for how to count the rows in a cable because I wasn't sure. Turns out it's not hard at all. You just go in. I don't need to show you this. You can look it up probably, but you just count the little arms, the bars next to the cable above the hole. There's always this hole where you do the cable, where you do the crossover, and then you count the bars above that. It's not hard, which is cool. Anyway, so I now know where I am. I'm able to get back into it because I suddenly got an urge to, work on this a bit because I want to get it done for the fall, which is coming pretty fast. And then I have permission to start my branches and buds sweater because I told myself I wouldn't start this until I was finished. Start that till I was finished this. And but then I went and started another cardigan for myself. I know, I'm trying to work from Stash and I'm failing abysmally. I mean, I did make this from Stash this summer, which I showed you. My own little design out of Barocco Captiva. I'm very happy with it actually. It's not the coolest thing because it's got acrylic and polyester. But it's surprisingly comfortable. Yeah, not so clammy or anything. Okay, so what I'm working on now is the Lizzie cardigan by Julie Weisenberger, which is right here. So that's I just divided for the sleeves here, so you can kind of see how that works. But this pattern, I was really keen to try it because everybody says that it really fits well and it's a really clever method. So I was all gung-ho to try it, and I did, but oh my goodness, it is a little fussy. So if you don't like fussy, you might not enjoy it. But it is, I mean, the jury's out because it's not finished, but I did try it on and it seems to fit. I'm a little worried that the shoulders might not be quite big enough, but maybe with some aggressive blocking, it'll be okay. I'm not stopping now, so I'm going to carry on. And it's a lovely yarn by Espace Tricot. I'm doing this in a linen, so it's the Petit Lin Plus that Espace Tricot carries. That's their own brand. It's right here. Yeah, Petit Lin Plus. Can you see that? And it's the Marguerite Bourgeois colorway. I love their colorway names because they're all from Montreal, all the names. Marguerite Bourgeois was a sort of a pioneer nurse and nun and that kind of thing, I believe, in Montreal. Back, way back. It's probably 17th century or something like that, or even before. Anyway, so it's a nice colorway, and it's like a lovely lilac. This is coming out a little washed out. It's a little deeper than it looks, at least on the screen here. Maybe it'll come out properly when I publish it. So the thing with this is, the thing that I didn't like about this pattern is the way that, you do a little bit of the shoulders. Oops. Sorry. Back to this. Okay, so what I didn't like is that you do little bits and pieces and then you pick up stitches here and there, but you're always having to cut the yarn, which means that you've got a ton of ends to sew in, which is kind of a drag when you're only working with one color. So I don't know. I already sewed in a few of the ends because I hate doing it all at the end, but I still have these ones because I wasn't sure about this. You have to sew this one seam here too. And so I did it, and I don't know, it doesn't look that great, let's put it that way. However, I don't know, it's fine. Luckily, I'm not one of these, I'm not a perfectionist. And the man on the galloping horse wouldn't notice, so I'm just gonna carry on. But no, it's in the back, it's like the back of the neck, I'm not worried about it too much. And it's linen, so linen, I don't know, it's supposed to look a little frumpy, right? All right, I think I'm really racing through this. I think this takes something like 4 balls of that petit lin, if I'm not mistaken. I'm on my 2nd ball now. So, and it has 3/4 sleeves. I can show you the picture. I've got the book right here. Let's see, where is it? When I first started, here it is. It's that one. I like the front, the way it kind of points downward. And there's another version of it where it doesn't do that. But I don't really understand how, in the directions, it doesn't show you or doesn't mention how to do that version. So I'm a little confused because this definitely doesn't look as pointy to me. So I'm not sure how that works. So I guess I'll find out. I don't know. So far, it's the pattern has been quite easy to follow, but you have this whole worksheet that you have to fill out. So at first I thought it was Greek to me. I couldn't understand what to do. But now it's so easy. And I understand how it works. It's easy to follow. I don't know. I'm kind of maybe I'm a convert. We'll see, because I do want to make at least one more of her patterns at one point or other. Because I like a lot of them. I already love her Liesel pattern, which I have done before a couple of years ago. I think I showed it to you. I'm absolutely sure I did. Okay, so that's that for that. Got that. Oh yeah, is that it? I feel like I have more stuff to show you. Or maybe I don't. Amazing. This could be a really short episode. Okay, one thing I do want to mention is that on my queue, I have a couple of things I want to knit. I want to knit the Hearth Slippers by Diana Walla. In fact, Espace Tricot is giving a class on it, so friends of mine and I decided to take the class. I'm more for a social thing, than that we really need the class, but I think it'll be helpful because the pattern is a color work pattern, and I've done color work before, but I'm sure I could use some pointers on my technique. And also it's got an afterthought heel and an afterthought toe. That's correct, yes. So and those are also in color work, so that could be something to add to my roster of skills. I've done afterthought heels, but just simple ones. I'll put a picture in it here maybe to show you what they're like. They're very pretty sock, and not a sock, sorry, a slipper. And another thing I was thinking of knitting is the Sweet Vicious by Stephanie Earp. And it's fun because these two ladies are both local. They both actually work at Espace Tricot and are local designers. Stephanie has been putting out all kinds of things. It's been pretty interesting to see what she's been putting out. Very different. Like, I find that her stuff is quite not run-of-the-mill, they've got some neat things. So the Sweet Vicious is like I'll show it, I'll put a picture up, but it's kind of a cap sleeve top with a scoop neck like this, but it has all these. I can't show it. I can't explain it. I'll show you in the picture. Probably put it right here. And then so I was looking through my stash because I'm really trying not to buy too much yarn. I will tell you what I did buy though after this. But anyway, so I have this stuff in my stash. I've got this single ply color from Maidenhair. I think it's Maidenhair. No, that's probably not right. God, I don't remember the name of the company, but it's a Nova Scotia company, and they put out the series for our 150th birthday, for Canada's 150th birthday. of all the national parks. So it was a national park series based on that, and this was probably one of the northern colorways, but I forget which one. I've used it a little. I used a little for a shawl, but I have quite a bit left. So I think I'll have enough if I do the cropped version of this top. Plus, it takes some mohair, and I don't have enough mohair in one color, but look, I figure I could do kind of a fade version with these 3 colors, which I find very fadey, right? I thought I could do it like so, or like so. Can't decide, but I'm really liking that idea. Pretty excited about it, but as I said, I have other things in my queue. Like I want to make that branches and buds. It's been in my queue for, gosh, it's been a year probably since I bought that yarn, and it's still there in the back of my head. Once I finish Dave's sweater and this cardigan and that cardigan, I will start the branches and buds, and somewhere in there I'll start this. I'll try the sweet fishes. I think that'll be fun. I'm not sure it's going to suit me because cap sleeves, and plus it's like a super warm little top, but it doesn't have long sleeves, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I almost feel like I should make the sleeves as long as I can, or make them really short and use it as kind of a, you know, like a vest, you know, turn it into a kind of a vest. That might look cool. Anyway, so those are to be decided. Those things are to be decided. All right, so we're only 20 minutes in, and I feel like I pretty much finished everything. I thought it was going to take me way longer. As far as new podcasts go, I found this one person who does a lot of tutorials. I'm going to just find her right now. And she did a very helpful tutorial to me, helpful to me, that's what I'm saying. Sorry about that. I wanted to find out if I had the right name for this podcaster, and her name is Roxanne Richardson. And I've just found her video really helpful. It was just, I was looking for, I don't know what I was looking for, but I fell upon her tutorial. And it was kind of like how to avoid messy stitches at the beginning and end of rows. And actually, I was having that issue with this cardigan. And what she showed me really helped me. So I pass that on to you so you can check out her video. She's got quite a few very helpful things. Yeah, I won't go into it because she does such a good job of showing you how to fix that. There's 2 or 3 things that she points out could be the culprit. So Roxanne Richardson, so check that out. And as far as other podcasts go, I have not been watching a lot of knitting podcasts. I always watch the fruity knitting because that's my favorite, I think. I think it's just usually so interesting, so informative, and she always has such interesting guests on. So like this recent episode, they interviewed this woman, oh my goodness, what was her name? This woman is a great designer, and she's done tons of different things. And let's see, yeah, Louisa Harding. And so she has a yarn, an online store called Yarn Tellier. Okay, sorry, I'll cut that out. So yeah, Louisa Harding, she does these great designs, really beautiful, very feminine. And she also sells this yarn, and I got tempted, and my friend we totally egged each other on, and I ended up buying yarn for both of us online. This beautiful cashmere, and and we're gonna both knit this gorgeous sort of throw shawl thing. Well, it's more like a poncho in a way. It's just a big rectangle with buttons here and some lace, and Anyway, I'm kind of excited. So when I finish my birds of a feather, that's my next shawl. But like I said, I have been really bad at not buying yarn. I mean, I could be worse, I guess, but I'm just not knitting as much from Stash as I was supposed to. Anyway, I feel bad. I apologize to Kelly from Celtic Cast On. I'm letting down the side. Oh well. Well, I think that's about it. Yeah, I've talked about my queue, and I've talked about, oh, another podcast you should check out. And these are audio podcasts. Did I mention these last time? If I did, I'll cut this out. But I've been really addicted to the Happier podcast with Gretchen Rubin and her sister Elizabeth Kraft. And I'm just learning so much about how to make your life better, happier. Just so many nuggets, things that you can apply to your life fairly easily. I mean, of course, I keep saying I'm going to and I haven't, but I've applied a few of the things. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. Check it out. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts, on iTunes or on Google Play or whatever. I use the Stitcher app for my podcast, and it works pretty well. And the other one, was my daughter's podcast called The Working Arts, where she interviews young artists who are up and coming, and she does a great job. She's a very cool young lady. I think you'll like her. Now, those are audio podcasts, by the way. But they're great when you're knitting, because you don't have to look up. You can pay attention to your knitting and not get lost and not drop stitches. Dave and I have been watching a lot of baseball, which is also really good for knitting. So you never have to look up. Every once in a while you just, can I see the replay? Yes, it's right there. So it's a perfect thing for knitters. We're Cubs fans because Dave went to university in Chicago. And one of his best friends is a huge Cubs fan, born and raised in Chicago. So that's it. And I must say I'm enjoying being a Cubs fan. So anyway, I will let you go right now, since it's, I don't know, probably half an hour. I think that's good, right? I'll put in some pictures from my recent trip, and I hope you enjoy them. And I'll also put in pictures of my various projects that I'm going to knit, and some that I've already knitted, for your looking and listening pleasure. Happy knitting! Oh, thank you for coming back. If you are a previous viewer, it's nice to see you back. And if you are new, well, welcome aboard. If there's any questions, if you want to join our conversation over at Ravelry, such as it is, there's a place for that. Just look up the Guilty Knitter podcast, and it's over there. And so welcome, and goodbye till next time. Bye. Happy knitting.